Welcome back to Cheaper Pop Culture, motherfuckers. Previously, when I discussed the cheapness of pop culture in comic book films, I talked about the same actor playing different comic book characters in different film universes. But that was just the tip of the cheaper pop iceberg, because the subject of today's episode is... That's right, if you thought that comic book movie casting directors were lazy because they seemingly have Chris Evans and Ryan Reynolds on speed dial, well, it gets even worse. Now, it's one thing to play both a DC comic book character and a Marvel one in film too, but how about playing two unrelated Marvel characters in the MCU? Man, I sure hope you escape the wrath of Kevin Feige when he finds out. Despite how much the Marvel movies make it seem like they're trying to annex Netflix like a limb with gangrene, for the moment it would seem that Marvel Netflix still qualifies as canon. However, it just goes to show you how little attention the big screen pays to the streaming service. Because Luke Cage's corrupt councilwoman Mariah Dillard somehow appears to have a clone, or a Skrull that doesn't really know how to do character research all that well, or possibly a life model decoy, because Alfre Woodard also appeared in Civil War as the catalyst that set Iron Man off onto wanting to sign the Sokovia Accords. Now in real life, this happened because Robert Downey Jr. recommended Alfre for the part in Civil War, totally unaware that she was already in Luke Cage. And given the offer to tap into that sweet MCU money twice, Woodard didn't hesitate to take it. Can't say I blame her. Peter Parker's academic decathlon teacher, Mr. Harrington, might look familiar to anyone who attended Culver University during the events of The Incredible Hulk. Now granted, you might be thinking that Harrington could just be playing the same character, but in the novelization of the Hulk movie, his character is actually listed as Amadeus Cho. See that? The ancient one wasn't the first after all. And with the seventh smartest person in the Marvel Universe having yet to make an official appearance in the MCU, it seems that Starr is playing two different characters until proven otherwise. If you were a member of Frank Castle's military unit, you no doubt would have reported to Commanding Officer Ray Schoonover. And if your unit was ever deployed to defend Asgard against one of its biggest threats in Salter, then you might be very confused as to whose commands to actually follow, since both of them sound exactly like Lex Luthor. Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. So good that she appeared in the MCU as two different characters. In Captain America, the First Avenger, and also the crappiest Captain America movie, Laura plays a starry-eyed Captain America autograph seeker. Flash forward a few decades, and a possible descendant of hers also has stars in her eyes, but for ego instead, as she would eventually give birth to Peter Quill after boning a frickin' planet. While that last entry isn't confirmed as being relation, this one on the other hand has a more obvious connection. Choi played Jim Morita of the Howling Commandos, again in the first Captain America. He then appears in Spider-Man Homecoming as Peter's principal. However, in the principal's office, the OG Morita role can be seen in a photograph representing that they are in fact two separate characters, and are more than likely related. Unless they're trying to say that dude just doesn't age. Man, don't you just love the Back to the Future rule that relatives all look alike? The man might not be able to say penguin
is penguins, crested penguins, parent penguin heading home.
But he can definitely play multiple parts in the MCU, which I'm sure you can't say the same, so get off his back already! Now, not only did he play two characters like so many other people have in the MCU, but he did it in the same movie. Benny and the Batch pulled in Eddie Murphy by playing both Dr. Stephen Strange, but also by playing Dormammu. Now, are they trying to make some existentialist remark that one's greatest threat being one's own self or something or other? Yeah, sure, why not? Way deep, right? Now sure, after his Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 appearance, it would seem that he's playing the same character in all of his cameos. However, seeing that the exact nature of his role with the Watchers and that one of his characters didn't survive drinking Ed Norton's blood in the Hulk, and plus the sheer volume of cameos that he's actually made, I think he deserves a mention on this list. Alright, that does it for this one. Surprisingly, this was just a small sampling because there are plenty more examples of the MCU apparently running out of faces. So let me know down in the comments if you want a part 2 to this. So until next time, this has been Cheaper Pop Culture.